Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brooks Knows Baseball, the weekly Sunday night podcast where we discuss all things the past week in baseball, anything newsworthy as well. I just want to say before we do get started, if you found this page, please let us know what you think. Like it, share it, comment, follow us if you really like it. But we're just trying to see how everything works. Brooks Knows Baseball, we have our own formula again where we kind of look for some predictions and everything like that. That's how this website got started, but kind of divulged into more of a podcast-based thing now. But go ahead and check our website out. The stats are still being updated weekly as far as the top offensive and defensive and pitching players in their respective leagues. But to get to today going, what is it, week 4 now? Week 3?
Week 3, I guess week 3.
Yeah, some teams, playing. Every team should have about 16 games played now. So, getting a quick little look here. You're obviously seeing what teams are going to be good, such as Tampa, who's 14-2, started off 13-0, tied the best record ever?
I guess second best technically.
Yeah, well, they're 14-2. Their run differential is plus 72. And then you see some teams where, expect them to not be very good. With the Oakland Athletics at 3-13 with a negative 63 run differential. But what's standing out to you, sir? What's a surprise? Could it be Houston at 7-8?
Yeah, and they're about to lose right now. They're behind me there. You'll see they're losing to Texas in the 8th or 9th.
Yeah,
like 5 or 6 runs, I guess.
Who do you think the best team is?
Pardon?
Who do you think the best team in baseball is right now?
Well, I guess Tampa. There's a couple surprises. I mean, Cleveland, Minnesota surprises me a little bit. They're doing pretty good, but they went to New York and lost 2 out of 3. I guess that's not good. Or 3? Was it 3 out of 4? Or
Yeah.
2 out of it's not good. So that you put the men against the boys, see what happens. The AL East dominates that side. I'd say in the other side, the Braves.
Well, one thing I'll tell you, about your Tampa saying they're the best team. They lost arguably their best pitcher for 2 months.
Who they lost to McClanahan?
Springs is out for 2 months.
Oh, Springs, yeah, he's one of their. Yeah, they got.
He's a .5 ERA this year.
Yeah, but you're really worried about that team? They'll come up with something. They'll come up with someone we never really paid attention to and be good. I mean, Springs, Texas, run him out of town, and look, he goes there and he's good. They're always good. How about Atlanta's 12-4? No surprise there, right?
No. So a little surprised. No, I guess not really surprised with Philly. I was saying, but they're 6-10. So, and the run differential is terrible. Maybe again a little skewed early on against the Rangers when they scored like 18 runs or something against them. But they're facing a lot of injuries in Philly, so I think it might.
Yeah, they're not looking. They didn't win big today. But,
I think a pleasant surprise is Pittsburgh is ahead of St. Louis, and just Shy Cubs are second place. They're 8-6.
Hey, you talk about injuries in the Phillies. Well, the Braves, d'Arnaud is out, concussion. Michael Harris is out, probably another couple weeks. Their new shortstop, Arcia, he's out indefinitely. Max Fried's out. Colin McHugh. Their closer, Iglesias, is out. They got one of their guys who's going to be one of their starters, Allard. He's out. Yanoa's out for the year. Matzik, a pitcher, or Matzik. I think he was hurt a lot last year too. But anyway, that's quite a list right there.
Yeah. What's pretty upsetting? Oh, if you look in the playoff race right now, obviously you have Tampa, Minnesota, Texas. Then the wildcard teams would be the Yankees, followed by Toronto, followed by Baltimore.
There you go.
So AL East.
Speaking of the Yankees, man, how about, did you see Garrett Cole today? He's the early
unfortunately,
early front runner for the side, man. His numbers are amazing.
Speaking of the Yankees,
yeah, let's get on that.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think if you have any substance on your hand and the umpire, says you need to wash that off? Well, I didn't know you're allowed a warning. I thought it was automatic ejection.
Well, we did a big article on our site about that, if you remember, early on, and how it's supposed to be basically, no leeway there. If you get caught, you get caught. But the Twins manager said he didn't think he was cheating. What got him was they told him to remove it, and he didn't. But like you said early on in our show history, you went on a rant about the Yankees. It's that Yankee bias, and it's there, and that proves it right there. Just like them,
kind of hard to argue with you on that.
Yeah, just like you can't open certain envelopes that divulge information about a cheating scandal there when Houston got busted for it in Boston.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter if his spin rates were dropping after it. So spin rates went down after they caught him with apparently just rosin on his hand is what they said. But I thought it was zero tolerance for that crap, and they let him stay in.
I know.
So that's if I was any other manager in the league, I'd be pretty pissed off about that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's some pitchers, especially like Baltimore, the pitching staff's garbage right now. And I'd like to know what their spin rates are, because since they're supposedly cracking down on us, maybe Baltimore was fooling around with the ball last year, getting a lot out of a little there. And I thought it was coaching. Maybe it wasn't coaching. Maybe there's something funny going on there, because their pitchers are awful this year starting. I mean, Cole Irvin got sent down this week.
That's a shock.
Yeah, that's.
I thought he deserved more respect than that. But I guess respect in sports isn't ever given, and realistically, it shouldn't be given. But still, I'm shocked.
Right. How about the Pirates? They're a shocker this year.
Yeah, and a good shocker this year.
I'm glad to see that.
Let me see here. I'm looking at the StatCast here for the Baltimore, since you did bring them up. Trying to see if we can get any of their spin rates here. So I guess their worst pitchers, Logan Gillespie, surprise, is one of the worst. Austin Voth, Cionel Perez, and Dean Kramer are horrible pitchers. Statistically, Austin Voth is just god awful.
He did pitch a shutout inning today.
His if you look at like Keegan or Logan Gillespie, roughly 59% of his balls are hard hit, so 95%, 95 miles an hour or higher. It's almost 60% of his balls. His exit velocity is 94.
Why is he still there?
Yeah.
Speaking of them, real quick.
Danny Coulomb, I'd like to say Danny Coulomb's doing really good. He's lower than league average in just about everything.
Yeah, he looks good. As a player.
Yeah, okay.
Physically, that's good. I couldn't tell you about that. But anyway, speaking of Baltimore, what's the deal with them? Santander isn't hitting, but yet, and McKenna doesn't hit. McKenna messes up in the field. McKenna's garbage. And they got guys ripping. Colton Cowser's super hot. Hudson Haskin, Kierstadt in Double-A. Who's the other outfielder there? I can't think of their name. Oh, Stowers. They're all hitting. Norfolk Tides are killing it. But yet you got these guys, that are, as Elias said, he wanted guys busting the door down before he called them up. I think it was him.
They're busting the door now.
They're busting the door. And you got people like Santander, trying to move them. I mean, and they need pitching, so maybe they're going to have to trade something or somebody. Hopefully, they don't get rid of prospects when they could possibly get rid of people like Mateo, who's playing really good right now, which is rare. I mean, his defense has always been good, but he's hitting right now. He may be at his highest peak right now. If you can get something for him, a pitcher, the time's now, because they got guys ready to come up, all up and down the lineup. But let's get off of them. But anyway.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead. We'll go talk about the standings real quick, then we'll get on to the stats. So again, the AL East, we have Tampa Bay at 14-2, followed by the Yankees at 10-6, the Blue Jays 10-6, Orioles 9-7, and the Red Sox, not surprisingly, bringing up the rear at 8-8. But they did just win 3 games in order to get back to 500. So if you're a Red Sox fan, that must be exciting. Run differential. Take a look at the AL East. It's the only one where they do not have one team in the negative. Every one of those teams is positive, with the exception of the Blue Jays, and they're even. Taking a look at the AL Central, got Minnesota at 10-6, leading Cleveland at 9-7, the Chi Sox 6-10, who just lost their most recent series. Detroit 5-9, and Kansas City, no surprise, 4-12. Every team in that division, exception of the Twins, have a negative differential. quite high, honestly. The White Sox are negative 23, Detroit's negative 37, and Kansas City's negative 28. The Twins are plus 18. Going to the AL West, we have Texas at number 1 at 8-6.
Mariners.
Seattle 8, or should be 9-6 now, right?
Who the Rangers? Wait a minute.
I don't know if is it gone final yet.
It's 9-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Okay, well the Rangers are going to win, so let's say 9-6 for the Rangers, 8-8 for Seattle, 7-9 surprisingly for the Houston Astros.
When let's don't even mention the A's because they're bad.
The Angels 7-8, and then obviously the A's 3-13. They're got a football schedule.
Yeah. Speaking of the Mariners, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the turnaround for once superstar prospect Jarred Kelenic. Yeah, he's ripping. He's figured it out. I'm glad to see it.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really hate any team. Well, maybe one, but I like to see the good players from every team, and I like to see guys do good. And I'm glad to see him do good.
Yeah, taking a look here at the NL East, we have Atlanta 12-4, New York Mets 10-6, the Marlins at 500 8-8, Phillies at 6-10, the Nationals bring up the rear at 5-11. The NL Central got Milwaukee 11-5, the Cubs 8-6, the Pirates 9-7.
Well, how about you talk about surprise? It's not surprising, but did you think Milwaukee's get out of the gate that good?
I thought they'd be good. We both had them pegged to win the division, so maybe. I don't know that
Milwaukee over the Cardinals?
No. I don't know.
Yeah, we had to have the Cardinals, and they're, look at the Pirates. They're 9-7.
Hold on, now I got to check. You got me wondering.
Yeah, I think we had the Cardinals. I'm pretty sure because I think we were kind of down on the Brewers.
We were what?
A little down on the Brewers. Figured they're the Tampa of the National League. They get a lot out of a little, but they don't win that big one.
That's right. Well, we didn't even have the Brewers make the playoffs.
Right, but it's early. They probably won't. But all this right now doesn't mean anything. I mean, like I'm really disappointed in one particular AL East team, but they're starting off way better than they did last year. They're not playing good, but they're still got over 500 record. Talking about Baltimore, they're 9-7, and they play some crap ball. Their pitching's terrible. Their hitting's hit or miss.
It's terrible.
Their defense is bad. Their outfielders have played atrocious. Bad reads on the ball, errors, things dropping.
We've got a lot of regressions for the quote-unquote arguably best manager in the American League last year.
Although they're like I said, they're starting off way better than they have since he's been there.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. But moving on to the NL West here, surprisingly, Arizona Diamondbacks are winning the division, leading at 9-7. The LA Dodgers are second, 8-8. San Diego Padres 8-9. San Francisco Giants 5-9, and then the Colorado Rockies bringing up the rear at 5-11.
Right. You think the Dodgers could be 500 into the year, or the Padres?
Taking a look here at the offensive stats for the league, Matt Chapman still leads in OPS. He is hitting .421, which is unbelievable. But he is still second to Luis Arraez, who is hitting .471. And then we got Vlad Guerrero hitting .387. Bryson Stott hitting .380 with the Phillies. Brandon Marsh hitting .378 again with the Phillies. Bo Bichette, one of my picks for the MVP this year, is hitting .375.
Get to the next guy, and I'm not going to say anything. Read his name.
Ronald Acuna?
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Because as I remember in our preseason previews, you were picking on old Ronnie.
He gets hurt all the time. It's early. Okay, well, in that same instance, Jorge Mateo's right there. You think he's going to be there at the end of the year?
No. But, Acuna and Mateo, that's a whole different class of ball player, my man.
You're right. One doesn't get hurt, one does.
Yeah, well, one hadn't played much until last year and this year.
Then ninth is Thairo Estrada, and then Elias Diaz.
That won't last either, Diaz.
No. And we take a look at the home run leaders in the league.
10th? Wait a minute. You said 10th was Diaz, but you forgot there's a two-way tie. You forgot my buddy.
Polenic there, sorry.
That's right.
And then looking at the home run leaders, Pete Alonso already has 8 home runs. He is on pace for 80 home runs, roughly.
Time out. We're talking about things that happen. We have to mention what Ryan Mountcastle did this week in one game.
Yeah, go ahead.
9 RBIs in one game. It's the third time in Oriole history that's happened since 1954. And Eddie Murray was one, and I guess Jim Gentile maybe. But that's 9 RBIs. That's amazing. He's got that much production, yet his average stinks.
Yes, he's only hit 217, but taking a look, Pete Alonso again has hit 8 home runs. Rafael Devers, 7 at number 2. Mountcastle tied with Max Muncy and Patrick Wisdom with 6. Aaron Judge at 5, tied with Brandon Lau, 5. Matt Olson, 5. Brian Reynolds, 5. And Luis Robert, 5. And Rowdy Tellez at 5 as well.
And RBIs, is that where you're going next?
RBIs, Yordan Alvarez, number 1, tied with Ryan Mountcastle with 20 already. Followed by Randy Arozarena at 17, Matt Olson 17.
Molson's having a rebound here, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Lindor has 16, Matt Chapman 15, Devers 15, Cedric Mullins 15.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking because he went through a heck of a slump, but he's coming back.
And final one in the top 10 there is Brian Reynolds.
He cooled off quite a bit this week, didn't he?
Yeah, he's hitting 317. He was hitting over 400, I believe, last week, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see the strikeout leaders. Matt Olson, the guy you're speaking of, struck out 26 times already. Then Christian Yelich, who is not who he was a few years ago. I guess for a couple years now, he's been trash. 26 strikeouts, only hit 227. To Byron Buxton, 24 strikeouts.
Hold on. Byron Buxton. You talk about overrated ball players. He shows you this, that, and the other. He's a lifetime less than 250 hitter. He's batting 236, calling strikeouts. It's time to give up on that man. I mean,
yeah. Well, they just signed him to a $20 million a year or something, I believe, so they ain't giving up on him anytime soon. No. Someone I think is overrated is Jazz Chisholm. He is hitting 218 with 24 strikeouts. Trevor Larnach as well, 23 strikeouts. JD Martinez, MJ Melendez, Max Muncy.
Imagine that.
Are all striking out at a high rate. Walk leader, who has the most walks, it would be...
Did Aaron Judge's streak get halted today?
I don't know. Who do you think leads the league in walks?
Who? You said who does? Who I think?
Yeah, who do you think? It should be pretty simple.
I'd think him probably.
Adley Rutschman at 16.
Oh yeah, him too. He's
averaging a walk per game.
He's tied with Soto, but Soto's played one more game. There's another guy that's really died. Juan Soto had a terrible year last year. 172 hitter so far through 17 games.
Yeah, maybe he just is an East Coast kind of guy. But looking at on-base percentage here, we have Luis Arez, 526, Matt Chapman, 484, Adley Rutschman, 481, Lamont Wade, 479, Vlad Guerrero, 473, Corey Seager, 469. Good rebound for him. He's hitting 359 this year. Brandon Nimmo, 463, Ronald Acuna, 455, Goldschmidt, 452, and Sean Murphy, 446. The final one we'll do here, we'll look at OPS. We'll just do top 3 here. Matt Chapman is hitting... actually, let's do slugging. I'd rather do slugging. I like that one better. Brandon Marsh is slugging at 756. Jared Kelenic, 723. Chapman, 719. Brandon Lau, 690. Pete Alonso, top 5 there at 683.
All right. How about talking about some pitchers? Who do you think is the lowest ERA in Major League starters?
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, and then, are you shocked?
Sonny Gray at .53, turning back the clock.
Garrett Cole's 095, 4-0.
Yeah.
First 4-game winner, I believe him and Shane McClanahan, who I liked a lot with Tampa.
Yep.
Yeah. And we got complete games by Garrett Cole and who was the Minnesota pitcher? Was it Lopez?
No, it's Sandy Alcantara and Garrett Cole, the only one so far this year.
Okay.
We got the most saves in the league. We'll take a look at Jordan Romano with 6, Emmanuel Clace at 5, Felix Bautista with 4, David Bednar 4, Johan Duran at 4 as well. And there's a whole bunch more guys with 4. We're not going to go through that. Looking at innings pitched, at this point, it's got to be Garrett Cole at 28 innings right now. The most strikeouts in the league are Pablo Lopez. He has 33 strikeouts this year and only 26 innings, which is pretty cool. Garrett Cole, 32 strikeouts in 28 innings. Dylan Cease, 29 and 22, who had a very bad game today.
Yeah, I was going to say Dylan Cease. I heard so much about him. I watched him today. He blew a 4-0 lead basically to the Orioles.
Think of this, though. When it was 4-1, that third baseman made an error, and then they got 2 more runs. Remember that? Yeah,
that's true. But he didn't impress me.
He impressed me that he calls his own game. That was impressive to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, still a good pitcher. I know. Shane Bieber, I don't guess he got a result today, but his team, Cleveland lost to Washington today. Shane Bieber, he wasn't as sharp as usual. But hey, how about Corbin on Nationals? He finally went 6 innings and only gave up 2 earned runs.
He usually does that in the first inning.
Pardon?
He usually gives up 2 runs in the first inning.
Oh, yeah. He went through the 3rd inning before he gave 4 runs and 2 were unearned. But anyway, on like 3 errors.
Well, speaking of Corbin, let's speak about a better Corbin. Let's talk about the rookies with Corbin Carroll leading the way here with 17 hits, leading all rookies in hits. He's hitting .288. And then Josh Young hitting .291, 16 hits. Estuary Ruiz hitting .308. Spencer Steer hitting .320. Some rookies that are really, what'd you say? Separating themselves, but Spencer Steer, let's talk about him for a minute. 50 at-bats, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. And he's hitting .320, on base 424, OPS is .944.
Yeah, Cincinnati's actually kind of better than I thought they would till today.
Yeah. Corbin Carroll's far and away the, at least to me, rookie of the year so far for the National League and the American League.
It's not Volpe or Henderson, that's for sure.
No. Gunnar is hitting .178, Volpe
like 191.
Hitting .191.
Yeah.
Only reason you hear about Volpe is because he's a Yankee, and you don't hear about Gunnar because you shouldn't hear about Gunnar.
No, he ain't playing good enough yet, but he did get on three times today, 2 hits. So
Volpe's on base is .309. He has 7 stolen bases, which is pretty cool.
What's Henderson's on base? I bet it's better than that because he walks a lot.
Gunnar Henderson is .373 on base percentage.
Right, he walks a lot.
Yeah, so there's some good rookies. Let's see the pitching rookies for pitching, if we can. There we go. All right. So let's see who has the most innings pitched for a rookie this year. It would be Hunter Brown for the Houston Astros, who is 2-0 in 3 games, 18 innings, 1.0 WHIP, and a 1.93 ERA. So that.
If you remember when we talked about that team, we thought he's going to be the 5th starter because, as usual, Lance McCullers is not doing anything. He's not there. I think he's throwing now, but there's no timetable. Some of these guys, you just got to give up, after a while because it just doesn't happen,
Yeah. And then Kodai Senga, is that how you say his name? Is .338. So that's good.
Speaking of Japanese pitchers, one in Oakland, I got to watch him get some.
Ghost Fork.
Pardon?
Fork.
That's Senga, right?
Yeah.
But the one on Oakland, I can't think of his name. Is it Fukuyama or something? Who's Oakland?
Shintaro Fujinami.
Yeah, Fujinami. Yeah, I watched him the other day. He pitched a lot better. His first 2 outings, he got hammered. This game, he lasted like to the 6th inning, I want to say.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
He looks better. Let's see how he does.
If it makes him feel any better, he's only roughly 1.1 ERA earned runs more than Ken Waldichuk.
Yeah, Waldichuk looked good for like 2 innings against Baltimore's last start, and that was it.
Yeah.
Rapidly deteriorated. But anyway, let's not go in that. All right, that's pretty much touching everything.
Yeah, is there anything else you think about you want to talk about real quick?
No, I think that'll do it for tonight.
Yeah. Well, if you want, I'm just making sure, going over all my notes to make sure we're good on everything. What are you looking for the Battle of the Beltway that's coming up? How about that? Let's talk about that real quick.
Well, on paper, Baltimore should beat the hell out of them because of the pitching. But Mackenzie Gore's a good pitcher with Washington. Josiah Gray's, he may come around and be pretty good. They may be a little tougher than Baltimore might think. So I'm thinking it's a 3-game series, I think. So
It's two. It's only 2.
Oh, it's only 2? Well, Baltimore will probably sweep then. They got they got Dean Kramer probably going next game. And then probably Gibson.
Gibson pitched yesterday.
Oh, excuse me. Then they're going to go back. They're going to skip someone because they sent Irvin down and they got an off day tomorrow.
Hopefully they skip Kramer. But take a look real quick. We'll go over the people who are playing this week. So we got the Los Angeles Angels playing the Red Sox. That should be, I don't know, they both are pretty even teams. Not very good. So then we got Cleveland versus Detroit. Cleveland should win that game. Tampa and Cincinnati are playing each other. Tampa win that. San Fran and Miami, I think it's kind of a toss-up.
Wash.
Yeah, wash. Philly at White Sox, wash. Texas at Kansas City. Texas should beat the hell out of them. Arizona, St. Louis could be St. Louis. I'm not a big fan of their pitching staff. Toronto and Houston could be a good matchup. Gosman, who's a top 5 AL pitcher this year. Yeah, Pittsburgh, Colorado. Pittsburgh, the way they're playing, is probably going to take Chicago to Oakland. Who cares? Atlanta, San Diego. San Diego probably not win that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Atlanta. They're 12-4, man.
Atlanta's my World Series pick, man.
How are they 12-4 with all those injuries, man?
It says here Baltimore Dean Kramer versus Josiah Gray. They already announced.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking.
Win to the Nationals.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Where's the games at? Where are the games at?
It's in DC this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, big travel day for the Orioles. But all right. Any final thoughts before we sign off? Yeah.
No, that's it.
All righty. Well, everyone, if you've made it this long, thank you. And please make sure to like it or follow us, share it. Let us know how you're doing. Let me know how much better I am. Inflate my ego, please. But yeah, that's all for Brooks Knows Baseball today. We'll be back here next Sunday to talk about more baseball. It's great getting more of the Swing of Things games every single night now, which is fantastic. Getting a good sense of who the have-nots are. Obviously, it's early, but it's good to see certain things playing out.
Yep.
Sign it off, big dog.
That's all for now, folks. We'll catch you next time on Brooks Knows Baseball.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy.